when I made the list.
All right, here we are. Test game number 3, still at Tristan's. Tristan is running the Germans.
New board.
We have a new board, yes. It's weird material, but if you drive the tanks up like you're a child, it does make the tracks. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So all it is what, just a blanket, you said?
Yeah, just found
It's
a blanket in the
fuzzy on
linen
that
closet, and I was like, it's sand colored. It works.
So we are playing 2 80-point lists, totally different from the previous game. So why don't you go through what you have? I'm just going to take our time on this, but not too much time. As you can see just from the video, though, we have spearheaded the absolute ever-loving piss out of this board. Like, look how close everything's going to be. But let's just...
It's interesting because I didn't build this list even thinking of that. It only presented itself when we started deploying.
Because you have 2 units of 8 rads and the Panzer IIs that can spearhead.
Yeah, and I didn't even know the 8 rads could.
Yeah.
So
why don't we start with that? So you've got your 2 units
Start
of...
with my actual list.
Yeah.
So my list is 2 formations. It's an Afrika Korps Rifle Company and an Afrika Korps Light Panzer Company.
So Panzer IIIs.
So the Light Panzer Company is Panzer III up armored, platoon of 4 Panzer III 5-centimeter shorts, the 5-point model dudes.
So they're not heat like the other.
Not heat and 88. So 1 platoon of 4 here.
Which is actually smart because you know that the best armor I can get is a Grant.
And the 2nd platoon of 4 is here, who took advantage of their recon units spearhead.
So what ended up happening, go ahead and continue with your...
Yeah, so that formation is 2 platoons of 4 Panzer IIIs, the HQ, and the 3 Panzer IIs. The rifle company consists of 2 maxed rifle platoons.
Well, maxed such as they are. But
such as they are, 4 stands plus the...
And you didn't take the ridiculously priced 2-point mortar.
2-point mortar, because for 2 points I can take a pair of 8 rads.
Yeah.
So figure that out.
Exactly.
So yeah, 2 platoons there, they're both dug in. One's here with the 2 IC and 1 IC as well. Pair of PAC 38s. And the 2 units of 8 rads, which spearheaded up.
And you can see the tracks in the desert right there.
Yeah. I didn't even use the only spearhead I actually used was this one, just to get my AT gun further up the board. This one, once you put the tanks there, though I wasn't going to put anything here because you'd be flanking me in a turn.
Potentially, yeah.
So I didn't. But
so what I'm taking
I didn't even think of that though. Like
is 80
I can deploy
points
halfway up the table now.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's why I put that's my ranged in marker from artillery because I'm taking a motor company, the HQ of which are sitting pretty right here. The plan is he can observe from the top of here. The 2 IC can run into there and observe from that little shack over there. I've got a max unit of, again, max such as it is, motor platoon here. So it's got the light mortar and the ATR. On my first turn, in deployment, you can see my tracks. And what I did was I took, I have universal carriers as well. The universal carriers are integral to the motor company. You have to take 1. I took 2 instead. We're counting this, first of all, we're counting this as just a rough going hill. It's our only hill, so it's not going to be impassable. So he's going to try and do the Fritz-Move.
So I failed my cross check here.
Yeah, and I failed mine here.
Yeah. So it's just terrain cross check.
This guy from the same platoon, because again, they can move out of command, unlike version 3. So just with the 1 unit here of spearhead, I was able to extend my deployment zone to here and here, and as you can see, my Crusader 2s are in there. But let's continue.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
And maybe this will be brought up somewhere else.
Sure.
But for spearhead, this unit is bogged, so it's not an active team. Can you spearhead off inactive teams or only active teams? It's something to think about. Because in my mind, this unit right now, like if they don't get back in, he's testing.
No, that's bogged down.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah.
They're not bailed out.
If they were bailed out, you're right, they couldn't.
But
that's
bailed
not
out
the
still
case.
means...
No.
they do still count
They
as
still
active.
count.
That's right.
So that's why they still extend.
Yeah. Okay.
That's our reading of the Team Yankee rules.
Yeah.
I'll continue with what I had. To finish out the motor company, I have a small mortar section right here. So these are the good mortars. They can drop smoke if I direct smoke. Instead of taking 2 motor platoons, I can switch 1 motor platoon for some 6-pounders. So why not? As you can see over here, my second unit of universal carriers, because you can take universal carriers within the motor company, so these aren't divisional support. You can take more as divisional. You can see their movement. Again, I bogged down there and I bogged down there as well. But this at least allowed the remainder of my force, which is, this is a Crusader 2-3 platoon. So it has the two badly painted turrets are Crusader 3s with the 6-pounder in it. We already saw the other platoon over
They're
here.
all 2-pounders,
Yeah.
right?
These ones are all 2-pounders. To continue my divisional support, because that's not a, they're not divisional, or sorry, they're not core, my tanks. So remember when I said earlier, I was like, I'm taking kind of a dodgy list. So those aren't core.
Interestingly enough.
Neither are my 2 units of artillery. And I know Rob would be proud for me to take those. Oh, and I do have Hurricanes, although one's a P40 from the French, but I just bought my second Hurricane after having 3 and trading them out for version 3. But that's
I
okay.
actually have one.
A Hurricane?
It's painted, I think, exactly the same as that.
Well, I guess we'll have to do a horse trade later. Sorry, you were saying?
One thing that I'm going to find interesting in this game is we went a little more. I obviously went with more of an Oasis style approach.
Yeah, still no linear. Yeah.
There's no linear like walls or hedges.
Yeah.
But there's lots of area terrain. So just so you guys know, anything that has trees on it like this, we're counting
It's a
as
forest.
woods.
Yeah.
And it requires cross checks for vehicles. So it's going to make the game a little bit more Western Eastern Front-ish, just in rules usage.
It was also
it's
nice
not all
to
open desert.
It was also nice to see these guys took a cross check from way back there, and I'm like, they're wheeled. And in version 3, you're so used to them going 4 inches, but no, these guys go 12.
They have 12-inch
terrain dash, and they're wheeled, so that's pretty wicked.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Well, another thing,
It's the same
just
with
before we
these
start,
guys.
and because I know I'm going to forget later, is I'd initially placed my my ranged in markers where I wanted to deny him to be, but in hindsight already, I should have placed them out in the middle.
For smoke.
And then because the smoke isn't a line in the direction I want, so I could basically wall off sections of the board. Because I mean here,
you could make my packs not be able to shoot your Crusaders, for example.
Yeah, like I could just wall this off right here and then move my Crusaders up. Like I mean, you'd have to drive up, and so there's a lot of tactical thinking. Even though
I don't have any formational support in my list.
My list is almost all formational support, so that may be a foreshadowing of how it's going to end. So anyways, we're going to do our turn 1 and got you there.
Sneaky Fritz-Move.
Yeah.
3+ skill check.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4 inches up onto the hill.
Here it is. So Stormtrooper, this is what I was afraid
Blitz,
of.
I guess technically in this
The
game.
Fritz-Move. Yeah, so
Blitz
this is the
onto the
Blitz. He's already moved his Panzer IIs to take shots into my observer.
Oh, wait. Whoa. I passed, but I still have to do cross checks.
Oh, that's true.
Cross check. Oh, cross check.
Please fail all of
Good.
these.
Cross check. Nope. So one stuck down here. It's a ballsy move, but hey, we're learning, so why not do it now?
Well, if this was a regular hill, it'd just be straight up and down.
Oh, he definitely didn't pass. He failed.
That's still 2 shots.
Yeah, it's 2. So
You know what? I really hope you fail the one on the way down, and then I take 1 shot at the one remaining guy.
Yeah, but then the rest are safe again.
That's
Still
true.
kind of works.
It's such
They
a
passed their
it's
cross-checks,
such a
by
dick
the way.
move, aka the Fritz move.
Yeah.
So end of turn 1, the Panzer IIs putting in work. So on Friday, the Panzer IIs obliterating Grants. The Panzer II is needing 6s to hit.
Got 2 hits on the side.
2 hits on the side and obliterated it.
It's only 5+ firepower.
Only 5+ firepower, yeah. So my observer tank is dead, which I really want to use for Mike target. The Fritz move, guys, only because we're counting this as a rough going hill, is the reason why this didn't really work out that well. So we had 2 tanks on the hill shooting into my guns that were concealed, gone to ground. And again, and it hit on 4, so he needed 6 to hit and didn't. And then when he successfully did the shoot and scoot back, and then bogged this guy down, so presumably he's up there, I would imagine.
You can see him.
Yeah, and in other shooting, he killed 1, bailed 1 here.
And they retreated back with
so they shot and then fell back with shoot and scoot. These guys shot and only bailed 1. So now it is my turn.
And he bogged trying to do a
Oh,
cross check.
yeah, he bogged trying to do a cross-check in there. Yeah. Not that I'm going to be shooting at him or anything like that. So, yeah. So that is that, and I will do my turn 1 right now. End of my turn 1.
Far better turn than the Germans.
Yes.
For sure.
So I was able to successfully blitz the guns, the medium guns, from in here to there, because he had lined them up so that I could barely see any of them.
Well, I had lined them up so when they were here, you couldn't see them.
Right.
So you blitzed
and
down,
from here,
see them.
some were in the open, some weren't, and I
with
killed
the
one build too.
upgunned to 89,
Yeah.
and the fact that I moved first turn,
yes,
you were able to hit me much easier than I could hit you. So we're back to that whole whoever actually engages first puts themselves in the open. So,
but to be fair though, like you know, if you had done a second bail, they could have ran away on a 5+. So it was just there is that.
Yeah. So anyways, combined weight of fire, destroyed 1, bailed 2.
So they could run.
Yeah.
Over here, I did get the RAF and the Marine de l'Air from France come in.
So this guy's bailed out. That's a ranging artillery marker.
Yeah.
And you destroyed him.
And I destroyed him.
I don't remember if it was this.
Well, no, I wanted to destroy the guy here, but he moved it up to here. He moved the hit with mistaken target to here so that my direct fire guns couldn't take out this platoon, which is smart. So they instead killed 2 of the Panzer IIs. So that's the end of
got a whole
my...
rack of tests to do, though.
Yeah, so at the beginning of your turn now, you have to test to see if this guy gets back in. If he doesn't, it's fine.
So he's back in.
So he gets back in, and then they remount automatically from the bog down. So this unit's okay. So
this
Panzer
unit has
II,
to test.
yeah,
he's good.
he's fine. And then
what happens over here?
These guys have to
so
remount.
I'm looking for 3s, I believe, right?
Yeah, because it's normally 4s, but 3s with protected ammo.
So closest to me,
he's fine.
furthest from me. So that's just enough to have 2 active. I don't have to
How
test.
so? Oh yeah.
2 active.
Yeah.
That's why I'm running 4.
yeah. And you know what? The British would kill to run 4, but they can't.
He gets back in.
He gets back in automatically, and this is going to be the start of turn 2, and my planes, I'll move my
fly
planes.
off, but yeah.
Okay, at the end of Tristan's turn 2, he
woke up to the realization that your artillery are 89 2+ firepower
3+
anti-tank guns.
3+, as it turns out.
3+?
It's 3+,
Okay.
yeah.
So I realized that they're effectively
AT
more
guns.
of these.
Yeah, just
So
less mobile.
Why am I driving my armor up into a wall of anti-tank guns?
Mm-hmm.
So I retreated back here. What am I trying to do by retreating back here? I'm not sure, because dug in infantry, but why would you drive 3 tanks into 4 AT guns?
Yeah.
Plus a boy's anti-tank rifle.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. So
However,
I'm going to rejig and maybe come around this way.
Yeah.
Next
Now, your
turn.
8-Rads did pull down one
these-
more Crusader. One was already dead, so now it's a test on them.
Yes, they drove up and fired in there.
Yeah.
These guys moved up, fired as well, and then
Shoot and
Shoot
scoot back.
he failed his cross check.
And
This
over
guy
here,
did not get back in,
Yeah.
but facing the same dilemma of a wall of anti-tank, these guys fell back to force you, hopefully, to at least come out of cover with something, because you outgunned me here huge.
And your Pac 38s did put a
Pac
shot
38s
onto my
did.
Crusader 3,
Yeah, even
but
long range concealed.
but I moved it over to the Panzer
Yeah, I
Crusader
targeted
2.
him. He moved it to the 2-pounder, blew it up.
Yeah.
So, I don't. You do have a test to do, though, right?
I
Just
do
that
have a
one
test to do at the start of my turn, so 5+.
Yeah. And he hangs around.
He hangs around. Maybe I'll be able to turn my turret and shoot twice into those guys. We'll see. We'll catch at the bottom of turn 2. So the bottom of turn 2, I went for rear armor shots on the Panzer IIs. I mean, it was all I was hoping for was to cause a bail here to force the test, because that's the lone Panzer II, which meant that my remaining sorry, the shadow's in the way there. The remaining Crusader 2 could have just pivoted in the shooting step to shoot at them, but they didn't kill him, so I had to shoot there. And my aim was to shoot and scoot and turn him around, so I'm not presenting rear armor, but he of course failed. My artillery ranged in on that spot over there,
And
using over here, and did nothing, but he was ranged in.
Yeah. The other one fired here.
The other one fired here, pinned the infantry,
Pinned them and
but I didn't pin the
even
guns.
hit the guns. Didn't even hit the guns.
I would have loved to have hit the guns, but at least it's ranged in.
Yeah.
The RAF and the
RAF
RAF came
blew
in,
those 2 up.
blew those 2 up.
And this one died to the 8 dice here.
Yeah, Yeah. So there's a platoon kill there, but importantly, it's the Panzer IVs that were vexing us the
So,
past 2 games.
What I've noticed with your list now
Yes.
is my thoughts on British armor hold. And British armor
Our support.
are support. So what you basically do, because again, we're just talking about victory conditions, right? So we're like, oh, platoon kills only matter.
But
if
we're
you
still going to
win.
win. Yeah. I'm not going to. It's going to be
So what
a
is
draw
interesting is
unless I drive
from
over there.
from a tactical perspective, what I'm thinking is that as British, because you know you have decent AT to hold objectives, some infantry, you use your mobile guns, your planes, your arty to soften and then send the tanks in. The tanks aren't spearhead in British.
Yeah.
Mind. So what you need to do is soften me up and then send in your tanks.
To be fair,
Exposing your tanks early.
To be fair, this
Because now you have nothing to get across the board to actually take objectives.
Well, yeah, you're right. To be fair, the only reason these Crusaders were here was because you had left
Side armor,
as the Fritz moving guys that are now way back there, is because if I'd gone first, I would have gotten some side shots. Because honest, I was tempted to put my my artillery in there as AT guns. I was going to put them here.
Yeah, we're just playing for fun, but when it comes down to actually winning the game.
Yeah, but it's still nice to think about these things before the game is quote unquote live.
You need to actually figure out how to take objectives.
Yeah.
Because at this point,
because now my infantry is going to have to start. I'm going to say I almost said double time, but they're going to have to start dashing up.
Yeah, and at that point, like I'm basically going to be hiding these guys,
and then machine gunning them.
To hit them is planes,
and then the machine gunning them around the bend. Like when my infantry get close,
is come out and machine gun. And but the thing is like your planes. I don't have any defense against your planes, so they're going to hit this unit because that's a formation. But at the end of the day, who cares if you kill this formation? I have another formation, so I'm not even company. I'm not divisional or whatever it is.
I honestly think so. At this point now, I think.
How is that list going to take objectives?
Well,
in a 2-hour time limit.
I honestly think my biggest problem with version 4 is still the same. My biggest problem from version 3 is the victory conditions. I mean, yes, it's great if you're sitting at beer and pretzels. I mean, it's in the morning here, but beer and pretzels. But still, you don't want a 7-hour game. You know what I mean?
Well, and we're pretty quick.
We're trucking through it. Yeah.
Years of play behind us. I guess what I'm saying is like when it comes down to this, having played in so many tournaments and events and stuff, you're always thinking get the platoon kill, don't lose 8-1, 6-1, whatever they have it set to now. But you still have to, at the end of the day, either break both of my formations, which probably won't happen in 2 hours.
I might break one.
Because once you do one, I go hyper defensive.
Yeah.
And so which everyone.
Yeah, you keep one HQ, and you have two because you have a 2 IC.
Yeah.
And a measly unit of dudes hiding.
And your other option is to cross the table.
Which then puts the advantage. I'm gonna try and cross the table.
Yeah, and I want to see it work.
And you know what? If I had trucks, I would be mounting my artillery in the trucks. But I can't use the trucks, even though I have them painted.
Oh yeah, because they're just straight up not even in there, right? They're not even on your list.
No, you know what their terrain dash is for the big artillery guns? 2 whole inches, so they're not going anywhere. Yeah. Anyways, we will continue playing the game, but that's
it's interesting.
Kind of our opinion so far.
It's more of an observation.
But there's a lot of mobility though.
You've taken out one armor. Yeah. This, as I discussed in the previous, if I expose your 18-9 2+ firepower is going to vaporize
3+ firepower, but still.
Sorry, 3+, but they're going to vaporize them. So I'm better to hold them off against the inevitable infantry. Whereas I tend to be an aggressive player, so I don't like feeling that I have to hold back. But tactically, it doesn't make any sense to move.
Well, it's still early days. I mean,
I don't know. I'm not.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. That's a good word. I don't know.
So we will continue with our thoughts. So on to turn 3. I think we mentioned it earlier that I was running a French P40 because I initially had 3 Hurricanes.
From version 2.
And I was like, I wonder who I gave, and look, it's right here. So I had given one to Tristan. So
I'm giving it back in exchange for a second
Stuka for him.
I had 3 Stukas from version 2 and gave them away.
So here begins the plain horse trading for version 3.
Last version. It's like we should never have done it.
Yep.
It's too fun.
So the turns are going pretty quickly now. So the Crusaders, when I was here to shoot at his AT guns, this is 24.1 inches.
Yeah.
However, Pack 38s now have 28 inches. So he was just able to put 3 hits on them, and I made.
I fired 4 times, hit 3 times. So I targeted this guy because he's 28 away.
Right. Yeah.
So I had 2 here and 1 there, and you failed to move.
I failed
it over,
them all. Yeah. No. So there's a platoon kill.
And I was lucky getting the 4+ firepowers because there are only 4+.
Yeah. I sworn they were 3, but they're like mine. They're 4+. I guess it's the Pack 40s were 3.
Yeah.
And over yonder. These I made my armor save.
Hit you once, but you made your armor. Failed my shoot and scoots.
Which is clutch.
Left there.
Yeah, because you would have moved.
I would have just backed off.
So that I couldn't hit back with the 6 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, and your PBZ 41 took pot shots at
just a pot shot. Yeah. Actually, it has 2 shots.
Oh, you know what? And you know what? This is what's killer.
Missed anyways.
No, but here's what's killer. If you kill one of them, you're thinking, oh, that's okay. He's got 3. Yeah. But no, the unit leader's over here. If you killed 1...
They're out of command, so it doesn't count, right?
Well, no. The model over here doesn't count for a good spirit. So I would have had to test for losing this 1 over here. So that's something to think about.
And then to have the quick discussion as to why these guys are parked behind here. So we chatted about aircraft and his Hurricanes. Yeah. And... You know, we've already talked about this wall of anti-tank that's out here. So I parked here for now, basically give myself a turn or 2 to
But you were spread out, though, thinking old version 3.
Old planes, but his planes don't drop a template. They just shoot. So I bunched up so his artillery can't draw a line of sight.
So the stat... Yeah, so it's weird thinking. And also, remember before you used to always hug...
These are better than A10s. They have better stats.
Yeah, so the stats for them are... They're 9 points for 2. They're hit on 5s.
A10s are hit on 4s. So they're harder to hit than A10s.
Well, this is what we think. I mean, we're pretty sure this is what it is. Their save is a 3+. Yeah. I guess that's to be
fast mover save. I'm guessing.
No, or maybe no, because they're
representative of being fast moving. Right?
No, I have a feeling it's because think like in modern times, like A10's getting shot at by every weapon under the sun. The weapons are better. And in World War II, like they've got K98s. You know what I mean? So.
No, but I can't even shoot at them. Like in Team Yankee, it's
and you know what? My Grants don't have the AA guns either. Like they used to be able to pay points to put them on there.
Tanks don't have AA. Maybe the Americans will late war with their 50 cals and stuff. But what I'm finding is that
or Shermans,
for the points, these are really good because they only come in on 4s, but they're very hard to hit even with dedicated AA being hit on 5s.
And
they have a Space Marine armor save of 3+.
And there's no 16-inch wave off.
And there's no 16-inch wave off.
It's 8 inches from the template where it lands.
And there's no template. You can just park them and go 8 inches shoot. So they're really good.
So thus far
whereas
the
Stukas
air
are a template, right? Stukas are still salvo.
Stukas are bombs, so that we'll have to see. Yeah. But anyways, that's just food for thought.
Yeah.
So his turn 3 is done, and now I've got to contemplate crossing the board now for the win. Otherwise, it's a double loss loss or a draw. So I did my turn 3, and it consisted of ranging in.
Everywhere ranged in very well.
Artillery is ranged in here, but you know what? Ranging in is great when it's 3+. But if you can't see the models. And they're concealing on the ground the infantry, I'm hitting them on 6s. So
so you hit
the even guns... dug in infantry, I'm like over here. I hit all 5, and I needed 6s to hit.
And you didn't get any hits.
So they're not pinned.
Here you did hit the guns. I passed my save, however.
Yeah, so the guns
you failed to hit the infantry because they were gone to ground. This platoon's gone to ground. They're not.
Right. I failed to hit here.
That was
clutch. For me. And these guys failed to blitz, so they just moved up instead. So that is the end of turn 3. Onwards to turn 4. We still got some time to. Yeah. I mean, if you want to call it, you can call it. It'll be a draw, but I still want to just get mechanics down.
Keep going.
I want to get mechanics down.
I think it's still going to be a draw. I don't see how.
Yeah.
Is it 6 turns or 8 turns?
I think for events, that whole mission points is going to have to be rewritten for tournament organizers.
Well, think of
Eric, that's on you.
Yeah, think of your armies, right? It behovens you to make sure you have dug in, gone to ground units on your objectives that forces your opponent across the board to take because they have to expose themselves, and that's part of the game. You're both doing it against each other, but it's,
So as you can see here, I am trucking across the board with my infantry. Don't know what that's going to do, but I was hoping to soften them up with some artillery. Actually, you know what I should be doing? As much as I'd love to kill them, I should be putting all 3 artillery templates into that and killing them. I think that's what I might have to do. All right, so at the end of turn 3...
end of turn 3. Prudent tactically, I blitzed here. Yeah. They fired and killed it. That got me my 2nd platoon kill.
What was
So
the
it's-
first? Oh yeah, the
First is the
Crusaders
other
over there.
Crusader. So it's going to be 4-3 even
And
if
then-
you take an objective.
And then shoot and scoot.
And then
into-
I passed my second order to shoot and scoot into the woods.
Actually, I just remember something. It's not 4-3 anymore. It's 6-3. It's the worst win you can get. They have made it. It's 6-3.
Yeah. So these guys did the same thing. They blitzed, fired, blew one, bail one.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, and I've got my test to make at the beginning of this.
So they're doing the whole Fritz moves here. So they did successfully blitz, fired, blew one up, bailed one,
shoot and scoot back.
passed the roll, but then he failed his cross check. So the downside is I'm making 4 cross checks to do that with these guys every
But
time.
at least cross-checking now isn't that bailed out. Like you don't have to take a test because of that.
Yeah,
That's
they
different.
get back in, which is nice.
Yeah, so that's big difference.
And then the prudent maneuver at this point was, since I didn't have any really good targets, was to just not shoot with this stuff. To highlight his previous video, it's going to be a lot harder to hit these guns now with his
because now I'm
bombardments.
hitting on.
I totally forgot
fives.
to move him. Totally
You can
forgot he was
move
in
him
there.
if you want.
No.
Okay. There, now he's moved.
They failed their blitz. So my idea
Oh yeah, what was your idea with this?
with my blitz was, from a ranging perspective, was to blitz them out, maybe say 2 of them, to continue the weight of fire, to wipe this unit out,
And then shoot and scoot back.
and then shoot and scoot back. I failed the roll. So with the +1 to hit long range, why expose them to artillery, which right now can't draw a line of sight from anywhere on them?
No.
Why give him that, relying on my success?
What is nice is that you can make the roll and then decide to move.
Yeah,
You go,
so-
I'm going to try and blitz, and if you fail, okay, they're not moving.
Yeah, so
they're
they're
going to
staying
chill out
there.
inside this.
I can't hide from the aircraft
shack.
anyways, and being bunched up or not doesn't matter. So we'll try it again next turn. And by then, your infantry will probably be up here.
Yeah, we'll see at that point.
What
Well,
to do.
I am going to try and hoof across the board in the time that remains, but yeah, pretty good game so far. You know what? I am enjoying a version 4.
Yeah, I'm not hating.
The lists are a little vanilla, but that can change. I mean, that's fine. So my
It's still
turn
fun. It's just
4,
funny. It's getting funny.
I moved dudes up. I rearranged in here because I'm like, you know what?
All 3 artillery. Well,
All
both
3 artillery is
and
going to hit into
mortar.
here, but they're going to go on the ground. So I was needing 6s to hit, and guess what? I pinned them. He
Well,
made
you
his
also needed
saves.
7s because you failed to range in until your second attempt on one of them as well.
Yeah, and I did get the 7.
And you did get a 7, but I made
But you know
saves.
what? Yeah. So even all this talk about a couple 2 games ago, I was like, well, maybe artillery is the rock paper scissors to infantry and guns.
No, they're just dual purpose AT.
Right.
which
You know
is-
what? No. Against infantry, they're not as good. But against the guns, because the guns
Yeah.
aren't concealed by sitting there, they are easier to hit.
Yeah.
But infantry, man, oh man, I don't know how. I mean, short of driving up.
So I'm
tanks.
hoping I can unpin.
And you're hoping he gets back in.
Because then I'm going to
Yeah.
go aggressive
So
just
to
play
to
it
finish
out.
out my turn here, so the Hurricanes came in,
Bailed one and
bailed
blew
one,
up.
killed one, and so now if he doesn't get back in, it's a test.
Yeah, my protected ammo is now worse.
If he gets in, he's going to drive over here. MG. They're going to hopefully unpin an MG. Even if they don't unpin, they're going to MG shots.
I
to
wouldn't
make
lift
it.
my gun to ground against all that artillery for that, though. If I don't
No,
unpin.
no, you. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
If I
if
don't unpin. So,
Let's see it.
so my protected ammo used to be 2 dice on 4+. Now it's
that's
1 on a
3+.
3+. So statistically, it's worse. But he does get back in, so
So
they don't
now
have
it's
to
no
test.
test.
So now,
Boo.
can I unpin these
yeah.
guys?
I hope not.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is it a... What is this? It's just straight up skill, right?
No, this is morale.
There isn't something called morale on here.
There should be top left.
Something called motivation.
Or that. That's what it is.
So their rifle platoons are 4+ or 3+ for last stand.
So no, they're not unpinned.
And my 1 IC and 2 IC are holding the main objective. So they're still pinned. So they're not going to move and shoot
Okay.
and lift because why? I can't move
Yeah.
towards you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
better to just stay needing 6s to hit.
So now let me predict the Fritz maneuver. Fritz move, blitz, shoot, and then shoot and scoot back. Oh yeah, we'll see it shortly.
No,
Do your other
I
moves.
can actually
but-
just move to here. Because being exposed at this point, what does it matter? I don't think anything can see me here anyways. Right? What could see me if I'm parked here?
This one gun.
Oh yeah, I might see this guy.
Maybe. It depends. I'll let you do the maneuver, and we'll film it later. So on his turn, he did indeed the Fritz move.
Yeah, so he successfully blitzed out. 8 machine gun dice into them, only hit twice. He made both saves. Thank God I successfully shoot and
Because
scooted back
I
again.
would have shot direct fire with at least one.
What else happened? These guys successfully fritzed as well. They
Fritz move, yeah.
They moved up to here, fired, bailed one, and then successfully went back. These guys did the same thing.
One got stuck.
One got stuck, so he's actually he should be bogged because he failed his cross check.
Yeah.
He bailed the other one and successfully backed off as well. So that's the Fritz-Move with these cars have been great.
Yeah.
Because even though one is bogging on a regular basis, the fact that you get back in,
yeah,
you can just do
and
it
it doesn't count
time.
like it doesn't count against you for a bunch of things.
And
like
their
it
moving
used to.
rate of fire is 2. Same as their stationary.
That's
so
nuts.
why would you not?
Yeah. So yeah, we're down. I mean, we're down in the nitty gritty. We'll see what happens over here. But yeah.
Well, if
turn
you blow these
5.
up, then
Or no, my turn, bottom turn.
oh, and he moved over, but that doesn't affect anything. Cool. It's pretty much a game.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Man, my artillery hitting on 6. Jeez.
Yeah, I didn't unpin, by the way, so that's
Yeah,
why they stayed
that's why
there,
they didn't move
because
and
I can't
shoot.
move towards them. Ideally, I was going to move here. Even though I killed nothing, I was going to move up, shoot, and assault because I was in range.
Because it's 8 and then 4.
Yeah, so I was within. I was definitely in range.
Yeah. Assault the survivors just to say a big FU to.
Yeah, just
the whole flank.
just doing another assault
Yep.
to do another one, right?
All right, cool. Well, we'll see what I can do. We're still kind of through my turn here, but I moved the range in marker. Oh, sorry, I re-ranged in for
The
smoke
mortars here and did the
first.
line.
Yeah. Now I was already ranged in back here, so I could still hit them. I mean, I can't see them.
You rolled 10 dice.
I rolled 10 dice, didn't get anything. These guys, because they're firing through smoke, couldn't see anything either. But whatever. He's still pinned.
They successfully blitzed as well.
Oh,
so
and they
got that
successfully
extra
blitzed,
distance
so I did get
to
the
up
extra
that
distance
close.
to get more dudes. Over here, I did kill one tank, but we won't know the difference. Actually, you know what? Let's just say it had still been him. Because now I'm thinking, at the end, you know what I mean? Back in version 3, if this had happened, at the end of the shooting step, you test to see if he's there. But let's say it's version 4 and this guy was still here. He would get to defensive fire, even though next... Oh, that's crazy. Just more things to think about. So anyways, I'll rearrange that. So it's just because we're going to remove the smoke for when I go in for the assault. So I just want to show that the assault is going to be through smoke, so his return fire should be less. So to finish the turn, I did do the assaults. I went in with went in with all 6 guys, killed 3. He rolled a 2 for the counterattack, fell back. I am within 4 inches, but Tristan brought up a great point in that it will be fiddly to be having guys inside the smoke. I mean, if everybody's ever played World of Warships and you're trying to keep your ship inside the smoke, you know how difficult it can be sometimes. So I'm within range. His CO, oh no, this guy isn't, well, he isn't contesting now because he dashed, but it doesn't matter. It's at the start of my next turn that he has to be still there.
Yeah, which he would be. So.
Yeah, so unless you drive off, and these last 2 guys are going to have to take a test at the beginning of the next turn, which is now, and same with the...
And they're 3+ for after.
3+,
both the infantry and the tanks.
And the tank.
So Third Reich gives me that +1.
Gives you the
so
+1.
Army rule. Third Reich 3+.
Oh, I saw the
he's still
2.
there.
It was a 2 and a...
And over here,
That's clutch.
So the infantry fall off the board.
Huzzah!
Because he can't let them get +1 running because he's not their formation.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say, yeah, you can, but he can't. Yeah.
But he's still contesting, and this can drive over to contest. So.
Yeah. Well.
But that's the...
He could drive a machine gun in the back out of the smoke.
Well,
but that's your choice.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I'm on your objective. So that's not bad. Tristan opted to do 4 shots per tank just machine gun the hell out of them.
Got 3 hits.
Got 3 hits. Didn't pin them. Killed 1 guy.
I got 4 hits.
4 hits. Yeah, 4 hits. I made 3 saves.
I didn't bother moving anything else because
it's going to be here or nothing.
So we're going to see what his artillery, planes, and this infantry unit can do.
Yeah. Well, if I get planes and I can kill one of the 2,
this will be bottom of
then
the
it's
last
huge.
turn.
That's
We've
bottom
played
of
about
last.
7 or 8 turns. So.
I think it's a 6, but we'll see what the video says. Because usually I count them through the video, and we're usually wrong. So yeah, we're going to go for the win. That's it. So in my turn, my hope for the win, because he had 2 separate tanks, was to have the planes come in and kill 1, and then me assault the other. Now, in a completely jammy move, I ranged in on this tank, and he rolled a 1 on one of his armor saves. And
you made your 4+ firepower.
And I made my 4+ firepower, and I killed the HQ tank.
Formation or tank company HQ.
Yes. Then I assaulted here, he made his save. I did hit with the ATR, and the ATR is so my guys normally hit on a 3+.
I killed one stand, I think, in the counter.
Yeah, no, you did. I just didn't remove it. So in my assault, my boy's anti-tank rifle hit him on a 4+, because it's the assault 4 because it's a heavy weapon. His top armor is 1. My AT value is 4+, because it's no longer.
And I rolled well.
And he rolled well, yeah.
And then I passed my counterattack. Counterattack killed a team.
And then I failed
and then you
my
failed your counterattack, because this all happened here, actually.
Yeah, because if he failed, he would have to dash move over here, and then it'd be on the objective.
But you failed. You fell back just 4, and then we looked up consolidation, because I was like, but aren't I within 4? And at least in Team Yankee, I can consolidate within 2 inches of you.
But I don't have to move.
Can't contact you.
Yeah.
And you did move your 4 inches away. Yeah. So the end of turn
5
or 6
or whatever.
Oh, we played it.
So if we kept going, this formation,
this guy would be not testing.
Why not? No. As the platoon, no. But the formation is dead because I've killed the other.
Yes. For this, actually, what would happen is for formation.
So force
purposes,
your force, good spirits is fine because your infantry force are still alive. This platoon is fine, is in good spirits because he didn't get hit. But then I think this formation might have to take it. Well, we'll have to look it up. But it would be interesting to see because
think about it. This is not in good spirits.
Yeah.
And its HQ is gone, so I don't get to do a formation test.
So he just runs.
So he would actually, at the beginning of my turn, technically, he would drive away. Now, granted, I didn't move anything else.
Right, because at this point, because those scout cars would be right
over here somewhere.
They'd be right behind these woods. That's true.
So they'd be moving up to contest and blah blah blah. But technically, at this point now, he would be running away. Yeah. I don't get to test.
That's true. That's weird. Yeah.
And I would have other units or whatever, but we just wanted to focus on this. But you killed, 3 platoons.
Yeah. You killed more than 3.
4?
5, maybe.
5. Yeah. Anyways, 4. At least 4.
Yeah.
So his planes were very good.
Yeah.
His artillery, honestly, clutch pin.
Not
opened.
not as artillery. AT guns, they're amazing.
For killie, they're not very good. But for pinning, which they've always been good at, me being pinned and failing to unpin here totally changed the dynamic.
Yeah, it did.
For sure.
It did.
So that was useful.
Yeah.
My personal star of the game are my 8 rads. Love them.
Oh my god, the Fritz moves they were pulling off.
And they're AT5 2 shots. So they're picking off all this light armor.
It's the 2 shots on the move range 20. Because I'm so used to them shooting 3 on the move or 1 at stopped and range 16.
They can efficiently outrange stuff, which is a nice change. So
any more thoughts to add? Because I do have some time left before my memory craps out.
It's good in killie. At least the games we play have been very killie. I do tend to be an aggressive player, so I guess my gripe is a little bit that I feel that the game can very quickly, first turn or 2, get to a point where tactically you need to be holding back or you're just going to die in a huge slaughter, which to me.
But there's there's a lot more decision making in the spearheads. Like the spearhead placement.
If this game didn't have spearhead,
totally different vibe.
It'd be very much version 3 still.
Yeah.
Spearhead dynamically changed. We were engaging each other turn 1.
Yeah. It was nuts.
However,
I wonder then if I could have put infantry there, if I had more infantry, and just start hauling ass up through this woods and into there. I don't know, just to force those decisions to be made. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I still like that I got to that your weak flank.
It's an enjoyable game. It is a little bit more abstract than version 3, just the way the rules work. It's lighter, right? Which was the goal. So I think the hardcore, I want a World War II historical gamers are gonna not like this version as much as 3.
Well, you know what?
That was the intent. Of the
I'll devil's advocate you. These 2 rule book or army lists are for the desert only. You know what I mean? In the old North Africa, you could take quote unquote Italian lists. So let's say an event says, books out of North Africa. Yeah. Well, you could take all the stuff that was in Italy. Whereas, I can't here. You know what I mean? I don't have Shermans, I don't have Churchills, even though King Force was there, but whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not so much the force organizations, though. I mean, just the way the rules work is lighter, which inherently makes it a little bit more abstract, because it just kind of whitewashes over very specific technical stuff, which quote unquote historical gamers like. This won't have some of that.
But you know what
It's
I like?
still
You
a
know what?
historical
I
game,
don't like
but-
having to worry, and I was always bad with this. I don't like having to worry squinting at every Panzer III that's on the board and going, okay, well, which one is that? There's only 3 or 4 different kinds now.
Well, it's not even. I don't know.
No, to me, like,
I'm not
that's
articulating it
something on
well.
the forums that's like, oh, it's super watered down. Yeah, you know what? It is watered down. There's a lot of choices. Like I'm the first to lament the fact that I can't take my deacons and I can't take my bishops. There's my
Priests,
wesps,
right.
my priests. There's no Shermans, but I assume Shermans are going to be out.
Matildas.
Yeah, the Matildas aren't there. I'm guessing. My thought about why there's no Shermans and Matildas, and they might get added as cards. Here's my thoughts, and this is just totally my. I have a feeling they're gonna come out with, well, plastic Sherman, a new plastic Sherman box, or just recycle the old plastic Sherman box when the U.S. stuff comes out, and then provide the British card for it. And there's precedent for that with the East German, the stuff coming out for Volksarmee for Team Yankee had cards in it to run for as the Russians. So I think Shermans and Matildas will be out when the Shermans come out for the U.S. list and when the Matildas come out for the Eastern Front Soviet list.
Well,
I have a feeling that's coming.
We're still in that boat right now where it feels like there's sort of going to be 2 versions of the game. There's going to be mid-war, which is completely quote redesigned with cards and
And early
then there's
war,
going to
late
be
war.
early late war, which is you're still using all the old books, which means there's way more specific, modifications.
But you're still using the version 4 rules. Like, really, using the version 4 rules with those other lists, that's going to be really interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, running specific
funny.
special characters with these rules and
I
doing
never
the
ran special
Fritz
characters
moves.
'cause I don't tend
No,
to
I
use
know,
them.
but I mean, there are some that
I have
can.
some, but I've never used them. So I don't know. I liked it. It was fun. But again, our games are almost always fun anyways, even if I get gripey and joke, it's with a smile.
Yeah,
It's,
that was just you having to be forced to play British, which I know you love.
I love them late
Even
war.
even though
I have
even,
3 different British
even though
lists,
you're
so-
from British parentage.
But I like them late war. The
Didn't your dad actually fire a 25-pounder?
yeah, he was 4th man on a 25-pounder crew.
So he'd be Joe Blow kneeling down over here.
Yeah, the guy sitting on the thing waiting to put the charge in.
Yep.
But he also had to do FO training. So he got to sit on the hill and hear them going over his head. When he was 16, he started as FO. Anyway,
And we all know how being a
but
FO on a hill turns out when there's Panzer IIs on the other
This
side.
is for Rob.
Right.
25-pounders are better now.
Yeah, Rob, they are.
They're the best gun in the war, as according to Uncle Rob. Because they're really good. You dig them in on an objective.
Yeah.
They're solid anti-tank.
To do it over again, I was
mid-war
tempted to
anyways.
put these guns as AT guns and put them forward with my after spearheading my universal carriers, and I think I'll try it next time. But you know what? This close, like they are only 4+ saves though.
Concealed, hit on 5.
No, that's true. They don't have the forward firing only, and that's to take into account the fact that turntables, because other guns like your Pack 38s have forward fire only. Same with my lousy.
Yeah,
6
it was a good game. It was a good game. We're still learning it, obviously. But, well, we're not learning it so much as we're just adapting to the change in the rules.
We're lucky that we've played lots of Team Yankee.
Yeah, the consolidation move's kind of weird. How you can actually consolidate within 2 inches of the enemy. So he only had to break off 4 inches, and I could drive right up to him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. You're used to that sort of bubble of you can't be here or you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's
And you know what? And we were going by the Team Yankee rule for
Yeah,
that.
we're
So
just
hopefully it is
solid.
changed in the new version 4. So we'll see.
It's not,
We'll see in a
it's
couple
not
of weeks.
Nothing I've experienced in the game in any of the games that we've played, which is what, 4 of them now, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't.
At least this one was a bit more or less one-sided.
I don't see anything really game breaking. To be honest, like I'm not like, okay, this is broken, it just won't work. It's just different. Not I don't know how to. I'm having problems articulating it. It's not different in a bad way, but it's not different in a wow, this is so much better way either. It's just
different.
Different.
Yeah, and you know what? We've only got 3 games under our belt. So once we have more, there'll probably be all sorts of technical nuances. We have no idea. I really, you know what though? I will say this again. For those times when, like at the end of the game, of this game in particular, when you wish if you had your trucks to mount up your infantry and truck them over there. And if I had had my quads to move
Oh,
these,
and I have 12.
oh my god! Oh, I know.
trucks. And
I know.
16
I have a
half
million
tracks.
trucks.
So yeah,
that I
like
could use.
hindsight, like I basically forgot about this side of the board for a couple of turns because we're really just focusing to see how this played out.
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
I
like
agree.
with trucks, these guys would have been mounted up and moving along the
Oh
back.
yeah, and there's nothing I
My
could
8
do.
rads, at least one of the units of 8 rads would have been moving.
And I would have done the same thing because I'd be like, no, I got to
Yeah.
reposition these
Tally
guns
ho
to
and
shoot your guys.
Get up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
I
these
really
things-
hope at some point there's a card or something that says, for 1 point, the formation can arm everything with trucks.
However,
just anything.
do you remember? You think slightly bigger picture here. How many SKUs they're looking to clear out? How did you buy trucks
That's you know what?
in blisters?
That's fine. But
So-
what about the people who have them? What am I supposed to do?
Dude, how many game systems across the 25 years of gaming we've done that each version
But
you have
still.
units that aren't good? Now, are they going to do away with transports? Obviously not. There's going to be
Half
transports.
tracks.
There's
There's going to be half tracks. I don't know about other transports.
Yeah. So, well, you saw the book, right, at the store.
For like not very long. I took
But
my
long
snapshots
enough,
and that's
long
it.
enough to look at the motor company and see that there are no trucks in the motor company.
I did
Right?
see that long enough. There are no trucks in either of the
In the-
two lists that I saw.
In the book. For British Motor Company,
didn't
they
see it.
don't have motors.
I didn't see it.
So-
That's all I can say.
And the files we have for the rifle company, now, technically, this is an Africa rifle company, so they aren't a Panzer Grenadier company. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So,
So-
they would have been the old guys with the trucks and the MGs.
Yeah, so Panzer Grens would have the trucks.
Yeah.
Because even the old rifle company didn't have them, I don't believe.
But here's the thing. I could totally see them saying, yeah, this is the list that fought at whatever, like the 90th Light. They didn't have trucks, which I'm totally fine. Just
can
say
also-
that. But then release something that says, okay, here's the units that did have the half tracks. Because you know what? When the Americans come out, they better have half
If
tracks.
they're ARP and no one else is, that's a good list.
Well, hopefully that's when they release the cards for,
Because
okay, British, you
if the
get
transports
trucks.
follow the rules we're familiar with in Team Yankee,
Where they drive around.
amazing.
Oh my God, could you
They're gonna be
imagine?
good. So it is interesting though because I do remember this is years ago.
I'm just going to pause and unpause 1 second. Remember version 2, go ahead.
Version 2 where I remember it was an interview I think Phil did where they were talking about transports
Mm.
and how at an engagement level that we play.
That's true. The transports would already be. They would have done their job.
At no point, if there's enemy vehicles this close, would my soft top trucks drive out, pick these guys up, and drive them over towards the enemy.
Right.
Like,
But
so
the
I
same
think-
logic applies to these guns would never be here. They would be 10 kilometers back.
Exactly.
So you have to pick your
that's where
abstract
that
and go with it.
abstract component, I think, is highlighted.
Yeah.
Not having transports cleans up the rules. You're not worried about mounted save versus dismounted save. When you remount, when you can't.
Well, it was in Team Yankees 3+. So I was thinking,
Yeah.
like, if I had trucks, I would just bust my trucks right.
Well, do you remember when trucks were a 5+ save and
they were
any unit
horrible.
was dead?
I remember because the first game I played, and I think it's actually one of our first videos, I didn't know. I was playing on, like, Space Marine
You
Rhinos.
just drove up and...
And then you're like, oh, yeah, they're all dead. So, but if I had the trucks, I might want to spearhead into one of these things of forests and then maybe launch the trucks out of there.
I do
Open up
like,
the blitz.
in all fairness, I do like the movement to formations like Team Yankee, so that I could run. I just ran a rifle company
And a tank.
light Panzer company because if I had to run rifles with armor support,
You only
I
get
only would
one
have one
platoon.
unit. Of
And the
tanks.
opposite, you only get one unit of guns.
Infantry.
Or,
This
yeah.
way, I actually had
You get
2
both.
core units of infantry, 2 core units of tanks, and some light stuff, and I had 0 divisional support. Everything here
See, me-
was a core unit.
And we wanted to mention this, is I took a wacky list. My list,
59 points.
my list, yeah, only,
divisional support.
yeah, 59 points of my list is not core. It's because the artillery are 14 points per thing.
And they're worth it. They're good.
They're 14 points each. And then the OP that died there was 2 points each, so I didn't get to try out the
Your
mic
planes
target.
were
The
another
planes is
9.
9. Now, here's what's weird. So because I took a motor company as my core, and I took the little add-on so that even if you brought them down, you'd have to get all the way over here to kill off
Wait a
even
minute.
these motors.
Your motor company
Yeah.
only required 1 infantry unit?
Yeah, because, no, it requires 2 units of core plus the universal carriers. However, one of the units of core can be 6-pounders.
So that's why you only had the 1.
That's why I only had the
infantry
one. But the
unit. So you can
6-pounders
run
are
an-
the other
You can
one.
run an
Yeah,
infantry
I
list
know.
with 1 unit of infantry in it.
Yeah.
That's
they're,
awesome.
they're motor platoons.
I love
So-
the 8 rads, 2 points. They're a point a model.
I just wanted to highlight though,
Great.
I could have taken like the 2 units of Crusaders I took could have been another formation of tanks, but I didn't have the points. But there is a thing that says you can take core units from another formation and as divisional support. So I was taking a gamble. So that's why these Crusader 2-3s are divisional.
I'm gonna
these ones
put it in a video.
are divisional.
I'm gonna put it in the video right now so that I could be called an asshole later. Or
you're an asshole now, though.
Yeah, whatever. But I will say that the German Stormtrooper rules now are better.
Oh my!
Stormtrooper got better for Germans. They're the only ones
that
who
move,
can do the
double move,
move, and the tactical options you have now.
Martyrs
because
now?
you have all of the different moves.
Yeah.
So you can do the follow me, you can do the shoot and scoot, you can do the blitz, you can. There's so and you can do 2, and it's any 2. So I was only
so long as the first one passes. Yep.
Yeah, I was only using blitz and shoot and scoot.
Those are the 2 main ones. You weren't having to cross vast swaths of forest, so you wouldn't have to do the cross here or the.
What's the other one though? There's the 4th one. What's the other
one? Is digging in. Like that's a movement now.
Yeah.
So
which we did.
Andrew highlighted that in the previous game,
which is blitz dig
blitz,
in,
then
and now you're still unmoved, full rate of
blitz
fire.
and dig in.
So like only Germans can do that.
Yeah.
So
but it was nice for me to be
really
able
good.
to blitz turn around.
It's more rolls, but it's 3+ test, which is pretty easy to do. Certain HQs may make it a 2+, depending, right? So it's I'm gonna go out and say I think the Stormtrooper, because it's still called Stormtrooper
for the Germans,
for the Germans is a much stronger rule. I do like that all the armies have the blitz ability, the shoot and scoot ability, just because it gives you much more tactical fluidity.
It does where maybe the lists lost, especially these 2 lists lost some granularity. Those movement orders put it back in. I mean, all you gotta do is look back to where we started. Like we were in each other's grill.
We started.
Like we were within,
because we had
because of all the concealing
5 units in the no man's land, 6 units in that. It was good. Like
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed.
And I'm glad this is less one-sided too.
Like you know, I'm always laughing when
we were testing,
messing around, and complaining. I'm still smiling, but I don't know. Like it's. I think like it's funny because traditionally I really liked mid-war the most because it was the quote most balanced. There's nothing too crazy. I'm interested to see how.
We have to see what the other books look.
Happens like I want to see what the other books look like. I also want to
like there's going to be Italians and
feel bad
Americans.
For the Russian player right now.
Well, yeah,
they got nothing mid-war. They were literally you're going to be able to buy a rule book for your game and say I can play early war or late war, but I can't play mid-war as a Russian player.
So long as they're pretty rapid fire with the release of those books, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. They had to start somewhere. Think about version 1. These were the 2 armies that started out. Everybody was clamoring for America, if you recall.
Yeah.
So some patience. I mean, you're an Eastern Front German player. Yep. So, I mean, Moser plays Russians, Brett plays Russians, so we'll see. Anyways, thanks for the invite. Thanks for the, you definitely got to keep this, the board with all the tracks. I mean, I think we've screwed it all up with all the dice rolls. Because each of these little hits is like a dice roll. It's crazy.
It looks good for a desert table. It works.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. I think we'll cap it off there, but so far so good. Really digging version 4, even with the lists that we have so far, and look forward to playing some more.
Is it better? I don't know.
It's just different. We don't know yet. Yeah. We're 3 games in. Yeah. Thanks, man.